Thank you all for joining us here today. Let's get right into our Aladdin Platform's cloud-native journey. So I'm Ali. I work at BlackRock within Aladdin Engineering on a platform called Aladdin, which is basically a centralized source of data, providing our clients ability to make better informed decisions for investments and risk management. And we do that at a very, very high operational scale and efficiency. We provide our clients the ability to make those decisions at a very high velocity. And as we look to get better with that, we are always looking to improve our processes. Part of that, I would like to dig into our cloud native journey, which started around 2014, 2015. Around that time, we knew container was a great idea. It was a great innovation. We started leaning into it pretty hard around the development environments, control environments, testing it locally, just like how we would do in production. We realized that led to a lot of fewer bugs. That meant fewer dev cycles, higher velocity, higher efficiency, more operational scale. So we loved the idea. We wanted to get into the deeps of it. We knew that we needed a roadmap. We knew that we needed a plan to move forward. But the plans are only so much useful. We knew that we need to get involved in things like open source and the communities, like CNCF, this great set of human beings who have enabled us in so many things that we have evolved from where we were to where we are and how we're going to go forward in future. This is a great set of great community that we actively collaborate with, along with a lot of open source tools where we are expanding our horizon on. So we started experimenting with Mesos and pre-version 1 Kubernetes, and we even had that deployed into our production and lab context for our just-in-time machine learning and data science quants, traders, investors. And that all went really, really well. That was a massive success. We knew that this was the way forward. And from there came a realization that BlackRock, being a highly regulated company, we are regularly audited by a lot of different authorities. We needed to get enterprise grade with it. That's when the OpenShift came about. That was our next logical step, getting OpenShift, the Red Hat's Kubernetes distribution. And then just right after that, we segued our way into this case study with CNCF, which was deploying Kubernetes in 100 days. That's what we did for our machine learning and the data science environments for our quants, as I mentioned earlier. During the same time, we realized that we needed an eventing framework. So how can we do that in a cloud-native way? How can we more innovative there? That's when we found out, okay, there is a cloud event spec. Let's leverage that. Let's get like-minded people involved with it. Let's dig into a lot of a more open source approach here. Around that time, we got introduced to some of these great folks at Intuit. Got associated with Argo. And so we really needed a home for our eventing framework. Argo did just that. They provided us a home for our project, what is now called Argo Events. So that was our first major open source involvement with Argo. And they have been great partners ever since. So shout out to Argo project for doing what they do. For having such amazing products that we leverage every day. Then moving into 2019, 2020, we knew that GitOps was the winner. GitOps was the winner for deploying the containerized applications that are meant to be orchestrated on Kubernetes. So before I move forward, let me just describe GitOps. It's like a set of practices and tools that are used to have Git as the single source of truth for our application configuration and the application itself. So around that time we realized that we needed to build a platform on our platform, which is Kubernetes, that we really, really loved and had past experience with it as we got better from 2014 to 2018, testing it in all sorts of environment, getting better and smarter with it. So around that time came the CNP, which is the Cloud Native Platform. It provided a lot of power to our developers because it allowed them to do their deployments, write their own YAMLs, and leverage the platform to have their application managed. With that power came a lot of responsibility for the operation teams, because that meant that if we wanted to make more sweeping changes to our service mesh offering, or if we wanted to change some component or do upgrades, that meant we need to go back to the developers and coordinate with them to make those changes, which might not always be their highest priority, because as being the developers, they'll probably be focusing on more of the product. All right, so that meant that we needed to do something about it, and that's when we started doing the Aladdin container platform, which was basically abstracting away all the need for the Kubernetes knowledge for our developers, and automating a lot of those processes, and providing fewer buttons, faster deployments, helping them just focus on the product and let the operation teams handle the deployments via Kubernetes. As we grew, our scale was getting bigger and bigger. We were getting bigger with our platform, which meant that we needed to get involved with a lot of open source contributions, because there would be issues that we would go and tackle on the Argo. A lot of those were on the Argo CD side, tackling the issues, fixing bugs, predominantly contributing with the application set controller. So before I move forward, Argo CD is a cloud native tool, which is a pull-based continuous deployment tool. All right, let's get into our cloud native platform, how it was structured, what is the design, what were the decisions that we needed to take as we designed that platform. So as we started designing this, we came up with the laundry list of requirements that we needed, which started from logging, telemetry, and tracing. So we needed everything. We needed all this framework, top to bottom, and everything in between. We needed disaster recovery in a cloud-native way. We needed a highly available container registry, because if we can't pull an image, none of this probably matters. We needed policy manager, as I previously mentioned, that being highly regulated, we need to cover all the information security to BlackRock's policies that we are audited against. So let's get right into this diagram. Our infrastructure infrastructure layer consists of this on-prem offering, where we have VMware's TKGI, PKS, TKG coupled with OpenShift. And then we have our set of cloud service providers, Google, Azure, Amazon EKS, all of that. And then comes our core platform layer, which is one of the most important part here, because it's beneficial for multiple reasons. It abstracts away the Kubernetes, the differences between different distributions like TKGI and AKS. They don't always scale one-to-one. So this core platform does exactly that. It abstracts that away, allows the developers to ship code and not the containers. And it is also extendable interface, so they can build upon it. Then comes our segmentation, which comprises of our business applications. It is not just Aladdin. It is other BlackRock products as well. We do all of these deployments in a declarative way, using Argo CD in a reconciled and versioned manner. Right. So this was the platform itself. How far did we go with it? What was the result? So what are the numbers? People love seeing numbers. Let's go right into the Argo journey, perhaps. So within the past 4 to 5 years, we have had 226 clusters, hundreds and thousands of pods are deployed. We have over 10,000 applications, and then over 300 repositories as well. So we are not just the users of Argo, as I've said before. We are actively contributors and the maintainers of Argo as well, getting involved to make them a better tool for others to use as well. All right. So as I previously mentioned, that cloud native platform was great. It still is great. We have it for our greenfield applications that are meant to be cloud native. But when we want to make big sweeping changes, it's not always like the best for the operation teams to go back and have them shift their priorities. That's when we came up with the Aladdin container platform, the golden path: fewer buttons, faster deployments, easier deployments, enabling the developers to focus on the product and meet the promises that we make to our clients, provide better business value to them, and let the operations team handle all of these deployments. So how we came about with this, what was the designer of it, was using our application configuration store, gathering all the configuration that is needed for the deployments, the image versions, the version IDs, and whatnot. Feed it into our ETL pipeline, where we are managing a couple of app sets, and we render the Kubernetes manifest. And that is to some of the Git repos. Those are picked up by Argo CD as it deploys and sings them out to destination clusters. Most of them are on AKS, as you can see there. That comes fully armed with multiple set of functionalities, including the logging, the service mesh offering, the certificate manager, the policy manager, and you name it. So we didn't just stop there. As you can see, there's Maestro, which is our customized version of control plane, which allows our operation teams to use the CLI commands to manage the applications, to manage the namespaces, the disaster recovery strategy, and a lot of other things like the instances and all that. So that was the Aladdin container platform. We are, for the future plans, what we are planning to do is be more elastic. Pre-trade, post-trade hours, we don't need a lot of these servers running all the time. So we can probably scale down to fewer instances, scale up during the busier hours. That's one of the things that we are looking to get better at. Sharing compute, be better at utilizing our resources, and then being more open to the serviceless functions, adopting them more aggressively. Yeah, that was most of the journey at BlackRock. We are very proud of what we have achieved, and it's a true testament of what you can achieve by getting involved in these communities, open source, community collaboration. It has enabled us a lot, and we are super proud of what we have achieved so far. All right, so that wraps it up. Thank you everyone for being here, and now we can open up for questions.